The breaking point. Ambassador Elena Chen stood at the viewing deck of Starbase Harmony, watching the luminous spiral of the Milky Way stretch across the darkness of space. For 12 years, she had served as humanity's voice to the Galactic Concordat, an alliance of 27 spacefaring civilizations that had welcomed Earth into their fold with promises of shared knowledge and prosperity. Welcomed. She almost laughed at the thought. Ambassador, the council session begins in 30 minutes, said her aide, Marcus. Elena turned from the viewport, her face betraying none of the exhaustion that had accumulated over years of diplomatic battles. Have you transmitted the data package to Earth Command? Yes, Mom. General Santos confirmed receipt and says Operation Nightfall is prepared to activate on your signal. She nodded. Let's hope we don't need it. The Concordat chamber was a marvel of alien architecture, its soaring crystal dome capturing the light of twin suns. Representatives from across the galaxy sat in curved tiers, their forms as varied as the stars themselves. Some floated in gravity pods, others stood on appendages no human engineer could have imagined. Among them, the humans, looking so ordinary in their simple blue uniforms, seemed almost primitive. High Chancellor Zorix, a being of living crystal and neural energy, spoke first. The Council recognizes Ambassador Chen of Terra. You may present your petition. Helena approached the central platform. A holographic display activated, showing the blueprints for Earth's latest breakthrough, the quantum resonance engine. Distinguished representatives of the Concordat, for the 7th time, Earth formally requests full membership status and equal access to the Concordat's technological exchange program. As evidence of our continued good faith, we offer the complete design specifications for our quantum resonance engine, which achieves 98% efficiency in converting dark energy to usable power. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Such technology was centuries beyond what Earth should possess according to the Concordat's development models. Chancellor Zorix's crystalline form pulsed with light. We thank Terra for this contribution. As always, the Concordat will review and integrate compatible elements into our shared knowledge base. Chancellor, Elena said, her voice sharper now, Earth has contributed 43 major technological innovations in the past decade. In return, we have received access to only the most basic Concordat technologies, less than any other associate member. Our scientists estimate we've shared innovations worth at least Level 3 clearance, yet we remain classified as Level 1. The Vrexian representative, a being of folded dimensions and mathematical thought, leaned forward. Humans advance too quickly, Ambassador. Your species moved from combustion engines to rudimentary space travel in less than a century. The Concordat values stability and predictable development. What my colleague means, added the Elysian diplomat, his feathered skin rippling, is that your species exhibits concerning traits. Your history of warfare, your resource consumption patterns, these suggest potential instability. Elena had heard these arguments for 12 years. Always the same excuses, always the same result. I understand, she said, her voice calm despite the anger burning within. And what explanation does the Council offer for the militarization of the Proxima Centauri Gateway? Earth detected Concordat warships entering our home system yesterday. The chamber fell silent. Chancellor Zorix's light dimmed slightly. A routine security exercise, Ambassador. Nothing more. Interesting, Elena said, bringing up new data on the holodisplay. Because our sensors detected weapons systems being calibrated and targeting solutions being calculated for Earth and our colonies. The Vrexian representative's form rippled with agitation. Impossible. Your technology couldn't what? Elena interrupted. Couldn't detect your stealth systems. Couldn't break your encryption. You've underestimated us from the beginning, assuming we'd be content with the scraps from your table while you studied us like lab specimens. She activated another display, showing Concordat communications they shouldn't have been able to access. Detailed plans for containing Earth's expansion and the systematic suppression of human innovation. Project Firebreak, Elena read aloud. a contingency plan to neutralize Earth if we develop beyond your control. Implemented 3 years ago without provocation. The chamber erupted in chaos. Some representatives protested. Others remained conspicuously silent. Chancellor Zorix raised his crystalline arms. These documents are clearly fabricated. The Concordat would never. Save it, Chancellor, Alina said, her diplomatic mask finally slipping. For 12 years, humanity extended its hand in friendship. For 12 years, you treated us as children at best, threats at worst. Today, that ends. She pressed a small device on her wrist. Throughout the galaxy, on every world where humans had settled, a signal was received. As of this moment, humanity withdraws from the Galactic Concordat. All human worlds, colonies, research stations, and ships will immediately cease communication and cooperation with Concordat entities. The Elysian representative rose in alarm. This is madness. No civilization can survive alone in this galaxy. We survived alone before we met you, Alina said. We'll do so again. Chancellor Zorix's voice thundered through the chamber. Ambassador Chen, be reasonable. Terra needs the Concordat's protection. There are forces in this galaxy that would crush your world without our shield. Alina smiled, but there was no warmth in it. You've never understood us, Chancellor. Humans don't run from threats. We prepare for them. She turned and walked toward the exit as the chamber descended into uproar. The Vrexian representative blocked her path. Your species cannot just leave. The technology you've integrated from the Concordat is bound by agreements. Your ships, your colonies, they rely on our systems. Do they? Alina asked. Check your networks, representative. You'll find that human systems disconnected from Concordat protocols 20 minutes ago, and they're running better than before. As Alina returned to her ship, the first reports were already coming in. Across the galaxy, human settlements were going dark to Concordat sensors. Ships vanished from tracking systems. Communication nodes fell silent. Marcus met her at the airlock, his face grim. Operation Nightfall is in effect. 97% of human assets have already implemented the blackout protocols. The Concordat is scrambling to respond. And the quantum shield, online and stable. Earth and all colonies are protected. Alina nodded and looked back at the Concordat station as their ship pulled away. They never thought we'd actually do it. That's always been their mistake. What will they do now? Marcus asked. First, they'll dismiss us as foolish. Then, they'll threaten. When that fails, they'll try to find us. And when they can't, she paused, watching as the station grew smaller in the viewport. They'll begin to wonder what else they were wrong about. 3 months after humanity's withdrawal, the effects rippled through the galaxy. The Concordat had always downplayed human contributions, but now their absence was becoming impossible to ignore. Efficiency in interstellar trade routes dropped by 17% without human logistical algorithms. Medical facilities reported increased mortality rates without human-designed diagnostic tools. Even the Concordat's vaunted defense grid showed vulnerabilities that human cyber specialists had quietly been patching. On distant Concordat worlds, people began to whisper about the humans who disappeared. Some spoke of them with newfound respect, others with fear. What were they planning in their self-imposed exile? What might they return as? In the darkness between stars, humanity watched and waited. They had prepared for this day long before Alina Chen made her historic speech. They had built their strength while appearing weak, advanced their technology while seeming dependent. And now, free from the Concordat's restrictions, they were about to change everything. The Awakening. High Chancellor Zorix stood before the emergency session of the Concordat Council, his crystalline form dulled with stress. 5 years had passed since humanity's withdrawal, and what the Concordat had initially dismissed as a temporary tantrum had become a galaxy-wide crisis. The situation continues to deteriorate, he announced to the assembled representatives. The collapse of the Rigelian trade network has triggered economic instability in 7 systems. Without human maintenance, the Arcturus medical archives have become corrupted beyond repair. And yesterday, the Cygnus defense perimeter failed completely. The chamber, once a symbol of galactic unity and power, now seemed diminished. Empty seats marked where once prosperous civilizations had withdrawn from participation, their economies too damaged to maintain their Concordat obligations. "We must locate the humans," insisted the Medusan representative, his vapor form agitated. "Our intelligence suggests they've established a presence beyond the Perseus Void. The Concordat must send an expedition." "We've sent 17 expeditions," replied the Elysian diplomat wearily. "None have returned. The Perseus Void has become impenetrable." The term hung in the air. Impenetrable. A region of space that had once been navigable was now shrouded in distortions that confounded even the most advanced Concordat sensors. "There's more," said Zorix reluctantly. "We've detected quantum signature echoes consistent with the theoretical applications of human resonance engine technology. They appear to be constructing something of immense scale." The council meeting degraded into accusations and recriminations. Some blamed the original decision to restrict human advancement. Others insisted humanity had been planning this betrayal from the beginning. None recognized the deeper truth. The Concordat had failed to understand what they were dealing with. Far from the political theater of the Concordat, Administrator Lena Patel supervised the final adjustments to Nexus Station Alpha, humanity's new interstellar hub floating in the protected space beyond the Perseus Void. The station was a marvel of engineering that would have been impossible under Concordat restrictions, a massive structure built around a stabilized quantum singularity that generated more power than entire Concordat systems. "Final integration complete," reported Chief Engineer Thomas Reyes. "The Nexus network is stable across all 17 human worlds." Lena nodded, watching as holographic displays showed the culmination of the most ambitious project in human history, and the defensive perimeter. "Phase shift barriers are operational. The void curtain is maintaining full spectrum concealment." She smiled, remembering Ambassador Chen's words 5 years earlier. They never thought we'd actually do it. How right she had been. The Concordat had assumed humanity would falter and come crawling back, begging for readmission. Instead, they had flourished. "We're receiving a transmission from Earth Command," said Thomas. "Project Genesis is green-lit." This was the moment they had been working toward. Free from Concordat interference, human scientists had made breakthroughs that would have taken centuries under the restrictive oversight of alien bureaucrats. The quantum resonance engine had been just the beginning, a deliberate reveal to test the Concordat's reaction. "Begin the sequence," Lena ordered. Throughout human space, massive installations awakened. The true purpose of the quantum resonance engine was revealed as energy patterns rippled through previously empty regions of space. Humanity hadn't just been building ships and stations during their exile. They had been restructuring the very fabric of reality in their corner of the galaxy. On the edges of Concordat space, sensors detected the first anomalies. Distress calls flooded in from outlying worlds as strange phenomena appeared in their skies, shimmering portals of swirling energy. In the Concordat chamber, alarms sounded as emergency protocols activated. The holographic displays showed impossible readings, hundreds of spatial ruptures forming throughout Concordat territory. "What is happening?" demanded Chancellor Zorix, his crystalline form pulsing with fear. The answer came not from his advisors but from the chamber's communication system. Every screen throughout Concordat space displayed the same image. Ambassador Elena Chen, now older but standing straight with quiet confidence. "Greetings, Chancellor Zorix. It has been some time." "Ambassador Chen," Zorix responded, unable to hide his shock. "What have you done?" "We've reshaped our future," she replied simply. "What you're witnessing is the activation of the quantum transit network, instantaneous travel between any 2 points in the galaxy." The implications stunned the Council into silence. Such technology rendered all existing Concordat advantages obsolete. Their carefully controlled trade routes, their strategic defensive positions, all meaningless if humanity could appear anywhere at will. "This is impossible," whispered the Phyrexian representative. "The energy requirements alone would exceed anything the Concordat thought possible." Elena finished for him. "Yes, that was the point you missed about humans. We don't accept limitations, we overcome them." On worlds throughout the galaxy, the portals stabilize, revealing glimpses of lush human colonies and advanced cities. After 5 years of isolation, humanity was revealing itself, not as supplicants, but as equals. Perhaps more than equals. "What do you want?" asked Chancellor Zorix, already knowing that the balance of power had irrevocably shifted. "The same thing we wanted 12 years ago," Elena answered. "A place at the table. Equal exchange. Mutual respect. But this time, we're not asking permission." Within days, the effects of human reemergence transformed the galaxy. The quantum transit network, selectively opened to non-human worlds, revitalized economies that had been crippled by humanity's withdrawal. Medical technology, freely shared with former Concordat allies, saved millions of lives. Planets that had suffered under Concordat restrictions found themselves with a new option: partnership with humanity on equal terms. The Concordat, that ancient and proud institution, faced its greatest crisis. Some members advocated for military action against the human upstarts, but others, having seen the extent of human capabilities, counseled caution. In the end, pragmatism prevailed over pride. 1 month after humanity's return, a new treaty was signed. Not in the Concordat chamber, but on Earth, the first time in galactic history that the Concordat had come to negotiate rather than dictate. Elena Chen, now serving as Earth's president, met with Chancellor Zorix in the rebuilt United Nations headquarters in New Geneva. "You understand that this changes everything," Zorix said